Alright, hey guys, Bradford Perry here. Welcome back to Bradford Perry's Whiteboard, where we go back to the basics and make math easy, okay? So this video is for the parents and educators out there, and just kind of, there's a lot of hype with this Common Core or the way we do math these days, and you know, as an educator, I see it and I see the reasoning behind it, and so I want to share that with you guys too, because I think it's important. But I want, we want students to think about math in terms of if you run into something like this, okay, we know that 62, that's the answer, but really we want to think about that answer being a destination. So imagine this is like a house in a neighborhood, okay, and there's a lot of different ways of getting there. So if you run into a roadblock down this street, hey, you can come around and then still make it to your destination here. What that's going to do, if you know these different routes, okay, and if you've ever traveled with somebody in a big city that knows their way around and they hit a traffic jam, boom, they're going around. Well, students can do the same thing with their math, okay? So if they run into a roadblock, boom, they can try it a different way. Or if they're unsure about what an answer they got, they could try one of these different routes and see if they get the same destination. And if you can get there to the same spot two different ways, then you know you're going to be right. That's what I always tell students. So let's take a look at these different strategies on how to attack this problem right here. Okay, so the first one, what students would need to know is expanded form. So being able to pull that 27 into a 20 and 7 ones. And then we just take the tens and put them together, so that way we can go 20, 30, 40, 50, and then I'm going to do my 7 and 5. That'll give me 12, so 50, 62. Okay, and that'll get me to that 62 right here. Okay, this next strategy is really similar. It's just written like our traditional algorithm and how we might solve it. It looks familiar, but we're going to do the partial sums. So we're going to take it and we're going to do our 5 and 7 first. 5 and 7 ones is going to give us 12, but we're going to write it right down here instead of regrouping up there. So we teach students this first, and then that regrouping comes easier later on. But then we do the tens place, so the 30 and 20, and gives you 50, and then you just add it together, you get 62. And then next, this one, okay, and I'm going to tell you, this number line, it's one of my favorites, but it's one of my least favorites to teach. I like it because it gives a mental math strategy. So if you don't have paper and pencil, these open number lines, if you've got the number sense, it's going to really help you do it mentally, okay? So let's look at how you might do this. So I would start with my larger number 35. Then I'm going to make my jump of 20. So I'm going to do it like this, 35, 45, 55. Then I'm going to add 5 to get to 60, and then 2 ones to get to 62. So it's a really good way of just kind of jumping across on that open number line, and you can do that mentally with a lot of different numbers. And then, of course, we come to everybody's favorite, the traditional algorithm. Okay, now, when I teach students this one, again, you want to always bring it back to that place value system so they get the understanding. So I always encourage them to use the place value names when they're adding it. So if I say 5 ones plus 7 ones gives me 12 ones, which is going to give me 2 in the ones place, and I'm going to regroup a 10 over here in my tens place, and then 3, 4, 5, 6 tens comes down with a 6 digit in my tens place there. So encouraging them to use that language as they're doing their number talks and explaining their thinking, I think, is important. But remember, we've got these destinations, okay? The more ways we can get there, the more we're going to be able to problem solve in future when math gets really hard or you get into those unfamiliar areas. You're going to be able to navigate, okay? So, hey, don't hate on it. Just try to learn it, try to grow with your students, and yeah, let me know if you have any questions or comments. Like the video, put anything in there, anything you want to see in the future, anything you don't understand in some of these elementary maths and why are we doing it, throw it in there. I'd love to make a video on it.